many households see a lot of fights between the parents. So these, I know you may feel that these are very small issues, but the manifestation of them in the adulthood is a lot. Like it has a lot of influence on their personality. I have seen someone who has faced such, who has seen their parents fighting all the time as a kid, and as a teenager or as an adult, that person is not at all confident talking because they think always or taking bigger decisions, or maybe they're not even able to handle if somebody is scolding or using a loud voice in front of them.
Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. If you're new to our channel, please consider subscribing to it and hit the bell icon so that you never miss an update. I am your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm in conversation with an accomplished young lady or young woman who's doing some amazing work on sexual and mental health for teens, Madhavi Jadhav. Madhavi, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me here, Ashutosh. I have watched few videos and I really like the conversations. It is amazing. This platform is really amazing.
Thank you so much.
Without hearing you before.
Thank you. Madhavi is the founder of That Mate, which is providing tech solutions on sexual and mental health for teens. She's a petroleum engineer by training, and she's worked for the Royal Dutch Shell Company. And interestingly, she's a state-level boxer. So, Madhavi, let's talk about That Mate first. And I was reading about you. It says that India has 253 million teenagers, and as per the World Health Organization, 50% of them have had mental, behavioral, and physical problems, which have occurred in their teenage years. Tell me about this, and then tell me about what you do in That Mate.
Yeah. So That Mate is a sexual and mental wellness app for teenagers. Yeah. So basically, we started when, I was visiting my niece in 2017, and she had just hit puberty. She came to me and asked, Atu, 5% of girls in my class don't have a boyfriend. Do you think I should have one? Mm-hmm. And that made me think back, when I had hit puberty. Mm-hmm. It was like I was around 13 years old, and when I went to my mom and asked these questions, she said that ask your teacher. And my teacher skipped that part of the syllabus. She said, this is not part of your syllabus. Mm-hmm. And then I was left with my friends who were equally confused like me. Right. And I grew up very confused. I didn't know whom to ask. I thought whether I have a medical situation, whether I will be able to continue with sports. There were so many questions. And I didn't want my niece to grow up with those questions. And that's where the idea of That Mate started. I spoke with a lot of teenagers. I worked offline with around 8,000 teenagers in the states of Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Goa, and realized that the problems are common and the manifestation is very different based on their social economic status. And this helped me worked on this app, which is called as That Mate, and which works a lot on storytelling because this is what clicks with the kids. When I was growing up, I also had a lot of, anger issues, which was observed by my mom, but she didn't know where to go or whom to ask. So similarly, there are many teenagers in India. Actually, there are 253 million teenagers in our country and 1.3 billion teenagers in the world who basically don't have any idea what is going on in their body as soon as they hit puberty. And that's where I thought we have to focus, because most of the times people are focusing on kids or on adults, and this teenage is generally being ignored the most. And that's how we started with That Mate.
Amazing. So, when you speak about mental, behavioral, and physical problems, you've spoken of puberty as one such thing, but can you give me examples without giving any names of what are some of the challenges teenagers face?
Yeah. Many households see a lot of fights between the parents. So these, I know you may feel that these are very small issues, but the manifestation of them in the adulthood is a lot. Like it has a lot of influence on their personality. I have seen someone who has faced such, who has seen their parents fighting all the time as a kid, and as a teenager or as an adult, that person is not at all confident talking because they think always or taking bigger decisions, or maybe they're not even able to handle if somebody is scolding or using a loud voice in front of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is the manifestation that happens. And then of course there is like depression which happens especially in students, and they have suicidal thoughts. And surprisingly, most of the teenagers that we have seen, I am not sure about like a lot of, but we have, the teenagers we have seen struggle with love and relationship issues more than thinking about studies. So these problems, like that girl has a boyfriend, I should have one, or my class has, like I said, like my niece was like 5% of the girls in my class have boyfriend, do you think I should have one? This is a major problem. And there are teenagers who struggle with their sexuality, identifying the sexuality. Like I have worked with a team member who as a teenager found out that he was a gay. However, due to the pressure in the family and all, he didn't know what was going on till he was into college and understood what is actually happening, like what is actually going on with him, like why he likes guys instead of girls. So he told me that he has not yet revealed to his parents, but his brother knows about this.
Amazing. I must remember to introduce you to another guest I spoke to some time back in the US, who had a son, and when the son was about 4 or 5 years, the son came to his mother and said that something went wrong when I was in your stomach. I'm actually a girl, and 15 years she fought it. And he had anger issues and all kinds of things. Then he went through a sex change operation, and today he's she's an amazing child. So
Wow.
I'll make that introduction for you.
Sure, definitely.
That's quite amazing stuff that you are doing.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned that you use technology
Yes.
to support all the amazing work you are doing. Tell me about this technology.
So while I was working with teenagers offline, as I told, I worked with around 8,000 teenagers and understood what kind of content these kids are looking for, or what is the thing that works with them, what is the things that they are having issues with. I use this knowledge, and I asked my friend who has been a tech guy since last 12 years. I asked him that this is what I know, and do you think that technology can help us? So he also has faced a lot of issues as a child when while growing up, and he said, "Why not, Madhvi? I would definitely like to help, and let's work on something which is because technology will obviously make this solution very scalable." So I told him that storytelling is something that really works with us. So then we started with the chatbot. His name is Nishant Neeraj. He's my co-founder also. He's from IIT Kharagpur and has around 13 years of tech experience, full stack developer experience. So he said, so we started with a chatbot platform. We thought that kids can come and ask questions. But what about the knowledge? So we have to also deliver the knowledge to them. So comic books was something that I and Nishant personally have always liked, and we also tried it offline and it really clicked. So we started with the comic books and also interactive comics and a lot of quizzes to keep them hooked. This is a generation that uses Snapchat and Instagram. So keeping them hooked on the app is something very important when we are, explaining some important topics to them. And hence making the app was very, engaging app was very essential for us.
And
so that is our tech solution.
And I did go and have a look at your app, and I was fascinated. People just come and post some of the challenges, and then you get someone else to respond. I mean, what kind of issues do you see on the app?
So right now, the chatbot has just frequently asked questions as of now, and we have a lot of content that is there to make them aware of these topics first, and later on we'll have some forums or things like that where they can come and ask questions. But right now it is more of the we have already have frequently asked questions that is in our chatbot.
Okay.
We have curated these questions based on our experience while working with them.
And what are the kind of questions that you have curated? I mean, just for our viewers and
Yeah, so very simple questions. So, where does the baby come from? Then, why I have, so kids ask why I have a different construct than a girl, right? So, then there are questions like, what is menstruation? Then, what do men should know about, like boys should know about menstruation? Then, how to use menstrual cups, then sanitizer, sanitary napkins or tampons. So things that will help them make more aware of these topics.
amazing. In fact, there's another guest I interviewed who's doing amazing work for a menstrual cup called Asan,
Oh, nice.
ASA. And if you search for her on our website, you'll be able to see her interview. And then if you're interested, I'll connect you.
Sure, definitely.
Very interesting. Absolutely fascinating. So, you mentioned also a little while ago that you also need a lot of professionals who can give such advice. So, do you have, empaneled doctors and clinicians and psychologists?
Yes. So our psychologists basically we have like three of us, right? Three of them are there. They are from Central Institute of Psychiatry, Ranchi. Either they have studied there or have working experience there. So yeah.
Okay.
Because I think while designing the curriculum, while describing the lesson plan, or while deciding how the content should look like, they play a very important role. And also for counseling. So I would like to make it very clear here. Our aim is more to bring awareness, educate them, and then maybe if required, they can go for counseling. So even telling them that when they will need counseling, because most of the times we don't know when we need counseling, even as an adult. I have few friends who have been facing a lot of anxiety and panic, and when even told that you need to go and see a counselor, they are denying it. So are always in denial, and these are kids, so they don't know like when to ask for help. So this is basically to help them understand when they will need help and whom to ask. We have a lot of counselors later on, but our main aim is to go for awareness, education, and then if required, and trying to help them there itself, and then required they can go and see a counselor.
Amazing. So Madhvi, if I'm a teenager, and I'm not, I mean, I'm 64 years old, but if I'm a teenager and if I need help and I, register on the app, what is the process you follow after that?
So if what we do is, if you are a teenager, you can, you must have known it through your parent or through your school, because partnering with schools and being a part of their curriculum. And here through parents, if they want their kids to educate them or they want help, they can download it. Later on in the app, what we will have is inside the chatbot, or maybe once they start using the app, we'll start suggesting at what stage they will need help and what kind of help they will need. They can reach out to the counselor. It can be a school counselor or a parent suggested counselor also.
Okay. And you also mentioned that you are integrating life skills.
Yeah.
Tell me about these life skills and how do you do that?
So social emotional learning is a very important aspect. I think networking skills, then how to say no, then grit, empathy, these are very important for us as an adult to grow in our careers or in life. And these skills are somewhere not included in our syllabus when we are teenagers, or these we learn mostly when we are growing up, or maybe if that is in our genes, or So I think working on these aspects, like improving the emotional question and social question of the kid, is extremely important, and this is what we are doing, like including things like grit, empathy, then things like uh, understanding our peers, understanding our social circles, then like social management, self-awareness, relationship management, decision making. This helps them to take better decisions.
Great, very, very interesting. So let's move to another segment of our conversation, which is you being a state level boxer.
Yes.
My first question is, what made you take up boxing?
I think so. I have been a health freak, like not as a kid, but I think late, like five, maybe 8, 9 years ago, I thought that I should be really. So I have always been a plump child, and I my friends used to tell you should be patla and all that, but I was like, I'm happy with the way I am. But then I thought, no, like I should be fitter, whatever weight I am, but I should be fit. So I started playing tennis.
Mhm.
I played tennis for 2.5 years, and then I had some knee injury in that because I fell and all. So
Mhm.
I didn't know what to do with it. So there was this. I was just strolling because I had to do something, and I was like, I was so motivated. I used to go for, I used to jog in the morning, and also I was doing that once in the morning, and I saw a coach teaching boxing. Okay. I was actually fascinated. Wow, like this is something very interesting, and I should go and check this out. And I went and spoke to him, and this was, I would say, this is just 5, 6 years back. So,
Mhm.
but not this is I guess 26, 17.
Mhm.
I went to this coach, and he was like, I told him that I want to be fit, and he thought she won't come. She looks very casual about it and all. And then I'll tell you, he hails from Haryana. His brother himself is an Olympic player, and he actually made me. I never used to run for at least for more than 1 kilometer, but he made me run like 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. I used to practice twice a day, and within 6 to 8 months, I actually went for a state level boxing championship, and I beat this lady who was maybe 8 to 9 years younger than me. So it was quite
Wow.
fun. Yeah.
Wow. And do you intend continuing to box?
I don't continue to box, but I actually continue like practicing with him. And he was showing me yesterday, see, this is a lady and she went to Olympic. Why don't you also try? I said, yeah, let's at least be more fit, and then we will see where to go about this.
Well, good luck to you. Good luck. We are now going to move to the last segment of our conversation, which has some questions for you personally.
Yeah.
My first question to you is that in a very, very young life, you have achieved many, many different things. That made boxing, what would you say are three key milestones that you have seen so far?
3 key milestones in both personal and professional life.
Yeah, life, personal life, professional life, both.
The first and most important milestone is being with my father when he was bedridden. So my father had Parkinson's, and he was bedridden for 2.5 years.
Mhm.
It's a personal achievement that I'm an only, I'm a single child. I come from a community. I don't know if you have heard of this Maratha community in Maharashtra.
Mhm.
I come from that community, and we are very orthodox people. But because I am a single child and maybe a lot liberated than my other family members, when we lost my father, I took up and I said I'll do the last rites, and I won't say it's a milestone, but it was definitely a big step for me as a person, and also for many other girls in my community. It was a very strong message given that you can also do it.
Oh, nice.
So I think it's a very big milestone in my life. And second milestone would be coming from such a small place like Satara, and working for really good companies, and then starting up ThatMate. Maybe starting ThatMate would be my second milestone.
Okay.
And third, of course, getting a bronze medal out of nowhere is really amazing.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. So my next question to you, and I have time for 2, maybe 3 questions. From where you are today, what does success mean to Madhvi?
Success to me is being able to smile even when I have a lot of ups and downs going on in my professional or personal life. I guess if I'm this happy, I'm successful.
Okay. And a follow-up question to that is, who or what inspires you?
Oh, I get inspired a lot by I'd say first, of course, by my mom. So she did not have a kid for 18 years after marriage, and she was cool about it. I mean, I have seen ladies who cry, who do so much puja part, and I don't know at all. But my mom was a strong lady. She just thought that, okay, if I'm not having a baby, I'll work. So she, after she got married, and after 10 years of her marriage, she studied. She did her D.Ed. So she was just 11th standard pass, and she did her D.Ed after when she thought that she's not going to have baby and she should be independent now, because maybe my father would like to get married again. My parents, both of my parents have been my inspiration, and my father never thought that if she doesn't have a baby, I should remarry. Both of them took stands, and they never thought my father never thought of giving up on my mom, and my mom thought, no, I should be independent and make sure that even if he marries, I'm not dependent on him. So I guess both of them have made me like who I am. So they have always been my inspiration. My other inspiration is Serena Williams. I think she has always busted myths around body image. She has 23 Grand Slams, and she's 39. She's still playing. A lot of things to take from her. I mean, she is truly a role model, and her quotes are also so inspiring. Like, she says that I take my failure more seriously than my success, so that I can work on that. I think that inspires a lot. And I think, and yes, my mentor, his name is Devendra Rane. He has been an inspiration since I was a child. He's a family friend and now a mentor and investor in ThatMate. He's the one who told me to believe in myself, believe in my idea, and that's why I guess I have come so far in this journey. So yeah.
Fabulous. Madhvi, now we run out of time, so I just want to say thank you so much. What an amazing conversation I've had with you. Thank you for this amazing journey you've taken me down for ThatMate, and I'm so inspired by you about your boxing story. I mean, and I sincerely hope one day I will see you, ready to make a pitch for the Olympics. So
no, that is not gonna happen, of course. But my coach hasn't given hopes on me. I don't know why, but yeah, it's because of him. My coach has been so persistent. You won't imagine. He used to call me, and he used to come home to pick me up when I did not go to practice. So very persistent and tenacious, I would say.
Fantastic. So thank you again, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for The Brand Called You.